Greetings guys, gals, and Godmaster gamers alike. I'm a grinning gamer, and welcome to a very different playthrough than what you've seen so far. Unless you've been paying attention to Ross's channel, in which case you're probably very familiar with this. But today, we are starting a pacifist playthrough. As little violence as is possible. So let's not waste any more time for anyone and begin. Now, to be do not try this. I learned the hard way. I died in like the first 10 minutes. Now, if all goes well, we should actually be able to record the game audio this time. Now, warning to those who like all of the dialogue and stuff and the cutscenes and everything, this is much more a speed playthrough, not so much I'm trying to hurry, but most skippable dialogue will be skipped, and similarly, cutscenes will be skipped. But basically, hello night, good night moon. Basically, we want to kill as few enemies as possible in the game. But this is already made clear by Ross's playthrough. He does do some things that I don't do though. For instance, he allows the killing of creatures by using charms. I do not. He does not allow the hitting of enemies to gain soul as long as you don't kill them. I do. So, those are the two biggest differences between our playthroughs, I think. This is going to be a very dangerous run. There will likely be much more death in this one, at least for me, than in most other playthroughs. Sweet. Got both of them stuck up there. Now, I was kind of hoping I would get him hit by that, because environmental kills are allowed. Same with life seeds. Life seeds are allowed to be killed, and any suicide-based enemies are clearly allowed to kill themselves if that's what they choose. I'm not advocating for suicide, I'm simply saying that it's permissible to allow a creature who has decided there is nothing worth living for to make that decision for themselves. So, today, we will be making our way through the Crossroads, hopefully. I will collect as many charms as possible, simply to have them. Because having charms means being able to get charm notches, which we will definitely still want. By far the most useful early game charm for us will be Soul Catcher, because we need as much soul as we can get, considering how little we will actually be hitting enemies. As we make our way through the rest of the King's Pass, we will be making our way to the door that separates the rest of the kingdom from the rest of the world. I think there's a social commentary in that somewhere, but I don't have the skill to find it. And now, as we descend into this ruined insect world, you may be wondering why I chose to go for a more ASMR approach. Well, simply because I'm hoping to emulate Bob Ross, the genius of artistry that he was. May he rest in peace. He knew how to put someone at ease and make them feel like they belonged and that they were safe. Thus, for something where we are trying to refrain from violence as much as possible, I figured it would be a good match for us. Now, said before, I am likely going to die much more, so please bear with me, especially in these earlier episodes where we have no abilities that would allow us to more easily escape from danger. Clearly we want to rescue as many grubs and collect as many relics as possible, as that means easier geo for us. I have not yet decided if purposefully knocking enemies into environmental hazards or breaking off stalactites is permissible. That is to be expected, but it's okay, because we will leave this fellow to his... Actually, because we are allowing hits of some kind, this is acceptable. Because we won't be killing. We simply would like the soul for healing our wounds. Of course, I could have just dropped down here and got the soul totem next to Milo, but I chose not to do that, because I am a detriment. Now, I will see if I can get both of these Vengeflies' attention, and lead them far away from the geocluster that I wish to obtain. I was very close to being hit by that one, but it's alright. There we go. Every bit of geo counts, especially in this run. Oh dear. I seem to have taken damage. This is to be expected. Hopefully that man will not mind that I have used his soul to heal my own. Now we will proceed into the next room. This is a very difficult grub to rescue, especially in this run, where we must take a leap of faith and hope that there is nothing beneath us. Oh dear, I seem to have screwed it up. That was a perfect jump too. For whatever reason, the game is deciding that it doesn't want me to jump. Excuse me, but I would like to jump. I have no idea how I avoided that. Hooray! We have succeeded. Now we will collect this geo here and make our way out. Our work here is finished. Clearly, even in this run I can't seem to speak, which is unfortunate, but to be expected. No one is perfect after all. Wow. I begin to wonder if it is worth going for the single geocluster in that room. Probably not. This not being a collectathon run, I will have no need for things like maps. I must save my geo for things that are more important for my survival, namely health, soul, and nail upgrades. Because while I am refraining from violence as much as possible, it is still very important that I have a very strong self going into some of the required fights. This was probably not wise, but I still need the soul to heal that last mask. I will need as much soul as possible. Yes, that will do. I will now heal to full before making my way over to rescue that grub over there. This grub has caused me much grief in my many times going through this run. This is actually where I died during my Steel Soul attempt at this run. Hooray, we've been able to make it out safely. I say safely, but we have taken 2 hits. It is probably wise that we not take any more. Now we will proceed to our first death, possibly. That was unwise. No, we shall proceed to our first kills, unfortunately, our unlives of this run. After we make ourselves wealthy, of course. If you can hear the inputs of my controller, it is entirely intentional. After all, ASMR is a great form of therapy. We will collect as much money as possible before we retreat to the hot spring to prepare ourselves for the ensuing fight. If I can manage to face the correct direction, that is. So simple. And here we find the rest and relaxation we have been hoping for. Yes, I shall indeed equip the Fury of the Fallen, hoping not to fall myself. Now, I'm afraid we must do away with this hoodlum, as he impedes our progress. Oh, that was rather close, good sir. That was even closer, good sir. I'm amazed. Amazed that I was not hit by that. Amazed that I cannot jump to save my life. And amazed that progression is that much sweeter. Money. Such a fickle thing. It's something we all crave. Something we all find ourselves needing. And yet, something that makes none of us truly happy. Thus, it is best that we search for things that truly make us happy. This poor fellow over here, who once craved such a vicious thing as money, wealth, glory, enlightenment, the darkness seems to promise all things, but few things it can actually grant. What an unfortunate soul to have fallen prey to this predator's deathly maw. But we shall not mourn for him. It was his own folly that led to his destruction, and thus he received what he deserved. It is their instinct, I suppose, to chase after that which they seek. But unfortunately, we led to their destruction very similarly to our own craving. The deathly dance of greed, perfectly personified in my desire for this money that will likely get me killed, if not for a friendly bench. Here it is. Yes, into the station we shall go. This is a very interesting sort of run. Not wanting to do too much harm to anyone, but still requiring what we need. We shall hurry through most areas, avoiding confrontation when possible. Unfortunately, some will make it a bit difficult to do so. Well, that could not have gone much poorer. I should probably not speak of such things as it is easy for one's karma to catch up with them. Oh dear. Excuse me, sir. I need you. You clearly do not understand what I am saying, so I shall refrain from speaking to you further. We shall not bother this mother. She sleeps peacefully. It's best not to wake her. Though she does guard some amenities that we will be needing later, we must come in from another route to avoid angering her or her children. Now we shall proceed. Collect a bit more money. Such a fickle thing it is, but something we so desperately need, as most enemies hold a decent amount of money. I have failed miserably and must try again. Such is the great learning curve of life. Learning from one's mistakes is the only way we can proceed, the only way we can truly become better. Excuse me if you heard a phone vibrate. It is clearly just someone who cares for my well-being, and this I appreciate. As we make our way up, we shall get one more cluster of geo. And then we shall make our way out into the wider world. Here we are. We shall avoid confronting those who wish to seek to duel with us. For one reason, simply because we do not wish them harm, and we would harm them. And for another, I do not believe I am prepared enough to engage in battle. At least, not with more major threats. If I could jump properly, that would be a great usefulness to me. There we are. And now back down the fall. So is the dance and repetition of learning. We fall that we may climb again. Onward we go. Thank you, sir, for lending your aid. You may now leave. Be at peace. Yes, there you are. Now, let us hope that this good sir does not mind that we steal his money. I say steal, it's more like borrowing without permission. No, sir, be at peace. Sir, I do not appreciate this. We have arrived at our first major crossroads. Funny that this area is called the Crossroads, and thus we come to our first big choice. Must we kill this big brute? Nay, and they, being defeated by him, we're not all doomed, not in the slightest. There we are. I do not wish you harm, sir. Unfortunately, the task must be done. Thank you. How will I leave you in peace? Goodbye, sir. Onward we shall continue. And now comes the first major test of our skill. We shall have to make our way through the mound. And then only make one kill. One unalive, one sleep with the fish. Must be accrued. Excuse me, sir. I do care that you wish to give me something, but I do not wish to hear all this babble. Thank you for filling me with whatever this may be. A vengeful spirit, thank you. I will use it very wisely, only when needed. I hope you will not think me rude if I carry on with the task without speaking to you first. Excuse me. Hello. Hello. Sir, return to your own life. Do not bother with me. Let us see if I can perform this correctly. I did. Hooray. There we are. Our only needed kill here. Unfortunate that he had to suffer on our account. Thank you, sir. Please allow me to leave. I will now move out of your hair and proceed upward once more. I hope you have been enjoying this so far, this little adventure of ours. It is a tough task we have ahead of us. I hope you enjoy yourself here. Thus, I think our first episode is nearing its conclusion. As you may have noticed, they will be shorter episodes, but nonetheless carefree, enjoyable, well-meaning. If, of course, we can get the locals to give us some breathing room. Hello, good sir. I have saved your children. Thank you for your contribution to my well-being. It is much appreciated. Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. Ah, is this for me? Thank you. It shall protect my shell well. Onward we shall go. Back up to the town. And perhaps rest there a time. Yes, I think that would be pleasant. Until we return to proceed on. Thank you. Out of the well, returning. Ah, yes. Place on which to rest. Thank you for joining me for this first episode of the Pacifist playthrough. I hope you have enjoyed your time with me, with us, and I hope you will join me next time as we proceed further, and hopefully not have to do away with any more unfortunate creatures. I will certainly see your smile soon. See you.